Hello gamers, Pet here. Welcome to my honest Far Cry 4 review. Hopefully after watching this video, you will be able to take a decision if this is a game you want to purchase or not. I will start by saying that Far Cry 4 was a disappointment. I mean, they took the same idea that Far Cry 3 had, but they ruined it with a really lame story that really it takes itself too serious. I mean, Far Cry 3 was fun, and when it came out, it was really unexpected. I mean, I didn't have a chance to play Far Cry 1 and Far Cry 2 because my PCs back then were kind of crappy, so when Far Cry 3 came out, I was like, yeah, whatever. But then people kind of seemed to like Far Cry 3, and then after some reviews and after some videos, I decided to, buy Far Cry 3, and I've enjoyed a shitload of it. Even that at first, it seems that it was something that I want to enjoy, especially because of, the story. I mean, on Far Cry 3, you have some rich kids that get stranded on an island and they are trying to escape, and you have Vas, which at first, you didn't know who the hell he was, but, it really was fun especially when it came with a story, because the story had a purpose. I mean, you were this dude and you were trying to get off an island. There was Vas, who was crazy, and it was a very interesting character, and you can really see the main character progression. He gets more tattooed, and it has a purpose. But enough about Far Cry 3. If you want to know more about Far Cry 3, I recommend you to watch my review, which, surprisingly, it was the first proper review that I ever made, 2 years ago. Far Cry 4 kind of wants to do the same thing. I mean, they have the idea from Far Cry 3. You have a big map full of outposts, animals, random events, towers, fortresses, hidden things, chests, and so on. However, the map is not really memorable. This is the downside when you create a huge map and you are not, in a way, forcing a player to sit in one place for too long. The environment doesn't really strike, and you don't really remember it that often. So, after all, big map, well, whatever. You also have this new villain called Pagan Min. I mean, yeah, he looks badass, however, I kind of think they went a bit too far with him. I mean, people love Vas, so the writers thought, okay, hey, we need another loco dude, so let's create this loco look for him. So, yeah, Pagan Min looks interesting, but then again, with the story, they are trying too hard to show you that, hey, Pagan Min can be a badass too. I mean, right from the start, Pagan Min kills without any remorse a character in front of you, without, as I've said, any remorse. So yeah, I mean, Pagan Min must be loco too, right? So what is this story about? Well, you are a dude that traveled to a place to spread your mother ashes. Turned out that Pagan Min knows you, and he knew your mother. So yeah, you're kind of trying to escape from Pagan Min because he's loco, and you find that there is a golden path thing, and there are some rebels that are trying to stop Pagan Min dictatorship. So yeah, this is kind of the base of the story. So something that the writers try to do, they are trying to give you choices whenever you are taking these main missions. And the choices are between two of those rebel leaders. You have Amida, who's actually a man, and Sabal, who's actually a pussy. And this is where the main problem with the story is. I mean, at first I wasn't, taking the story too seriously. I was looking at the story, I was looking at the dialogue and so on. I was trying, to get into the game, have some fun, but also, hey, the story is there. I'm going to pay attention to the story. So at one point I had to do a mission where I had to destroy an outpost or save some guys that are being overrun by Pagan Min. So I thought that, hey, it's more fun to actually attack an outpost, and I did it, and I've completed the mission successfully. However, Sabal, as a pussy that he is, got really emotional with me. He was like, yeah, you chose Amita over me. 7 people died in that assault. I mean, dude, what the fuck? I just killed like 100 people doing the other mission, and now you are going to get all mushy because you lost 7 men, and all through the game you are going to kill hundreds of Pagan Min men, and you are now trying to take yourself too serious because what the hell. And that was the moment when I saw that the story is really trying too hard. It's trying to make me take important decisions. It's trying to make me care. I mean, why the fuck would I care about them? I just got here, I have my mother ashes, I don't know Min, yeah, he seems crazy, but why would I want to help you guys kill Min? So I'm starting to see a pattern a lot with some games lately. They are simply trying too hard to shock you. They are trying too hard to make you have emotions when there shouldn't be any. I mean, Watch Dogs, The Walking Walking Dead Season 2, and so on. The only game that comes to mind that managed to do this right was The Walking Dead Season 1, and that game managed to do that because they presented the characters, you get invested with them. Here in Far Cry 4 you are told directly, have feelings, care. I mean, if the story would have been light, the game would have been great. It's the same recipe that Far Cry 3 had. You have outposts to liberate, and they are really fun to liberate. At first I like to play stealthy, killing the enemy with a bow. However, at the end I really started to blow things up and have a, fun with it. You also have various events that happen around you when you travel on the map. This makes the world seem more alive, but in the end you will kind of see that these are random scripted events. You have the truck that you have to capture or blow up. You have the general that you have to kill and take his papers. You have hostages to liberate and so on. Since this game is an Ubisoft game, of course that you also have towers to climb. I didn't mind it that much because, towers seems fun. You have to climb some more. Every tower is like a small puzzle, and at the time you reach the top, you have a small feeling of happiness because one less tower to climb. However, I found like 2 stupid towers that were so bad designed that it really made me angry. You had this jump that you had to make, and it was pretty hard to make. If you failed the jump, you fell down, so you had to climb over again some walls, only so you have to do that return jump again. So I spent like 30 plus minutes trying to climb that fucking tower, and after that I said, no more. You know what I did? I actually took that personal helicopter and landed it on the top of the remaining towers. I was so happy. It almost made me cry. Now, this is the kind of emotions I want to have, not the force emotions that the game is trying to force into me. Speaking of a personal helicopter, it's great. I love flying around and I love seeing the world from above. Other things about Far Cry 4, combat was fun, weapons were very varied. You had a bow so you could approach more things silently, you had a big explosive so you could approach things more violently. These are the kind of choices I want, not Amita or Sabal. Also, like in Far Cry 3, you will spend a lot of time killing various animals for their pelts. Getting pelts allows you to upgrade your wallet, explosive bag, ammunition bag, and so on. You will have to kill bears, no problem there. You will have to kill tigers, no problems there. You will have to kill honey badgers, big problem there, just run when you see them. So overall the game was a bit below decent. As I've said, the recipe was there, but they choose to go on the let's try to make something deep. So they kind of ruined the purpose of this series, to have real fun. I mean, yeah, you could still have fun if you ignore the story and maybe approach the story on a funny note. So anyway, this was my review for Far Cry 4. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you manage to form an opinion if this is a game you want to play or not. One thing that I have to add is that, like every game that Ubisoft released in 2014, it had huge problems. I had problems with Far Cry 4, more exactly, I couldn't launch the game until I unplugged my controllers. Why? Whatever. So probably they kind of fixed it, considering that I'm making this review in April 2015. But it needs to go down in the books. Ubisoft had another bad launch. So yeah, for me this game was really meh. I'm not going to go into details exactly why it was meh. It was basically because of the story and I mean, with Far Cry 5, they really need to make things a little bit different. I wasn't, it was expected that Far Cry 4 is going to have the same recipe like Far Cry 3, and some people, don't like that because, hey, it's a new game. I want something new, a new engine, new whatever. But it was, okay. Far Cry 3 was really fun. I mean, I want the same thing. I want the same fun again. But they, as I've said, they've ruined it. So let's see what they are going to do with Far Cry 5, if they are going to have a Far Cry 5. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, but please tell me why, because I do want to improve my videos. Don't forget to also check GamerPET.com, and of course subscribe to my channel because, why not? And I also, if you want to see more gaming content and so on. So thank you guys for watching. See you soon. Goodbye.